Good evening, I'm Kurt Gutgsell. Another Southridge athlete is heading to Division I for track. The Raiders' Anna Allstott will run at Akron. Allstott on why she chose the Zips. What made Akron so appealing to you? Why did you decide on Akron as your college choice?
Their emphasis on academics, they have a really good business program and like a pretty good commitment to their athletes. Their degree program just really intrigued me, and they have really nice coaching staff, and I loved all the girls I met while I was there that will be on the team.
Yeah, you mentioned You mentioned the girls. How was your visit? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was really cool. I had like a Friendsgiving with them for Thanksgiving, so I attended that, and they were all really sweet and welcoming. So,
what did they talk to you about as far as event-wise that you would be running, or do you know that yet?
Yeah, it depends. Well, because I was injured last year, but so I'll either probably be like the 200 runner, or I'll be a more sprint-based 400, 800 runner. It just kind of depends on my training.
Yeah, and you were outstanding in the 400. That's a tough race. I mean, it's one lap around and it's a sprint. How tough is the 400 to run as a race in track?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. I'd say it's the hardest for me personally. I usually run it. I just go hard until like the last 100, and it's kind of all mental at that point. So I just listen to my coaches try to cheer me on and yell at me and just drive it in to the finish line. But it's pretty tough, but I like it at the same time. So I don't know.
Visiting with Southridge track and field standout Anna Allstott. She's going to head to Akron to run for the Zips in the Mid-American Conference up in Northeast Ohio. And Anna, you played volleyball, you run track. What made running so appealing to you? How did you get started in track?
Well, I just loved field day in elementary school, and I was pretty good at that. I won like the races then. Then in middle school, I just kind of fell in love with it, but I wasn't as strong then since I matured a little bit later. But then my sophomore year, I kind of just took off, and I've had a love-hate relationship ever since then. But, yeah.
Yeah, and I've talked to other track athletes. I talked to Brooklyn earlier, and what's a typical training day like for a sprinter like yourself in track? What would you work on if you were going out to train?
Usually we stretch as a team together, warm up all our muscles, and then usually we do weights first in the early season, and then later we'll do weights after our workouts. But we do like high intensity stuff for the most part, and agility, a lot of that, things that help us produce power out of the blocks and be more explosive. A lot of ladders, I would say, like 100, 200, 300, 400, and back down, and then repeats. That's what we do. And we do a lot of turf work, too.
Right.
So it's not as intense on your joints.
Yes, and I'm sure Coach B, that strength training, that's paid off, too, what he's put together, right?
Yeah, it's been really nice because I didn't really have that before. And then going into that helped me become a lot more explosive as a runner.
In talking to Coach O'Brien and some of the other girls that we've talked to, you guys were looking forward to a really nice track season here this spring. How tough was it when all this crazy stuff started happening as a team not to be able to participate as a senior?
It was really tough because I was supposed to come back from my injured year last year, and I had gone to physical therapy I went to Charter Physical Therapy and built up my hips, like my hip strength, and everything was going good. I was running really good times at practice, and then like when I heard the news, O'Brien sent us all like individual messages, and I cried because I was really upset because this was supposed to be one of our best years, if not our best. We were going to come back and try to regain our sectional title and be three-peat PAC champs.
Talking with Anna Allstott of Southridge, a standout track runner. She's going to run at Akron. And again, as I mentioned, the other sports that you played along with track. How cool was it to be an athlete at Southridge with that culture out there?
It was really fun. We always had the intent of winning. So, like, I don't know, having that, like, on your back, just, well, for track mainly, like, we were always being chased. So we had targets on our backs at all times. But it was really fun to be, like, on top and winning, like, literally all the time.
That's great. I really appreciate you taking the time to visit this morning with us, and you'll have a great career at Akron. Looking forward to following your progress. So, Anna, thanks a lot, and good luck with the Zips.
Thank you so much.
Also in college news, Christian Lander, the 6'2" star point guard out of Evansville, writes aside his national letter of intent to play basketball at Indiana for the Hoosiers next season. He committed back in March. Lander was the top-ranked point guard in the class of 2021, but has decided to reclassify to the class of 2020 and will join a recruiting class that includes Indiana Mr. Basketball Anthony Leal of Bloomington South, Trey Galloway of Culver, and Jordan Geronimo from New Hampshire. That's ranked 13th in the country by 24/7 Sports. Lander scored 1,314 points in his career and averaged 21.6 rebounds and 5 assists last season for the Panthers, who won that 4A sectional championship. Lander now rated the 24th player in the class of 2020 by 24/7 and the 5th best point guard among incoming freshmen. Stay tuned, we'll have more WJTS 18 News right after this.